Okay. So I'm live and today, excuse my hair and all that, you know the deal. Um, I wanted to talk about harassment at work. And I wanted to talk about three different things because I work in three different areas within the department store. So we got the cash register, we got the fitting room, and then we have the sales floor. I'm going to start with where I currently work the most. So on the sales floor, you have customers that come in, blah blah blah. So with these are going to basically be some tactics that customers that are brought in use when they're trying to target your work stability when you're someone who's being game stalked. These are the tactics that I believe they use, and they're based off of the patterns that I have seen at work. So, excuse me. One of them is basically they'll have customers that come in. A lot of them are like, I've seen a lot of foreigners, and some of them aren't foreigners, but you'll see kind of like a pattern of different type of foreigners, and they will literally stay in the store for hours. Like you'll notice a person because there's not like a ton of people all the time. So I'll notice certain people, I'll see them, and I'll see, I'll observe what they have in their basket, what they're doing. And there's been customers that are there and they're just there for like 5 hours and they have no item, no item. So I believe what they're doing is witchcraft. I think that what they're doing, this is what something was telling me, is that they're bringing like their frequency around you and they're actually practicing. This is far to the left for people who don't believe in this type of stuff, which I used to be one of those people, but now I believe it because of all the nightmares that I've been having and other various things. So I believe that they're bringing their frequency around you and they know where you are. They know that you're their target, and they're doing like witchcraft while they're walking around in the store for hours and hours and hours and hours. And it's like targeted toward you. They see all the other people that are coming toward you, part of the program, doing certain things as well. But you'll notice that some of these agents, they'll be in the stores for 5, 6 hours. It seems like that long, 2 or 3 hours. Okay. And they don't have any items. They're just walking around, pacing around. Why would you be walking around, pacing around, not even trying anything on, walking around, pacing around? They're not even stealing anything either. These people are coming around you to like feel your frequency and perform like witchcraft. They're doing all this stuff in their head. They're chanting things in their head. They're watching things happen. They're saying things out loud on the cell phones. They're doing, some of them aren't even on the cell phones. They just have the cell phones on their ear and they're recording you and acting like they're talking to somebody. But you'll notice for a long period of time, they're not saying anything. The other person, they're not even communicating. They're recording you. Those are the weird dudes that want to secretly record you and watch you when they get home and stuff. So they just put the phone to their ear and then they're walking around like the recorder's on and they're around you. And so I'm like, okay. The next thing they do is like at the fitting rooms, we have 2 seats. So they sit there and they'll do little things, like I said, on their cell phone. They'll be indirectly speaking to you, but acting like they're speaking to someone else. Come around. They'll be in the fitting room talking about certain names, people that are in your family, like telling you they know all your fucking family members, which they shouldn't because you don't talk about your family members. I've never mentioned any of my family members on here by name, and I don't talk to anybody I know at work about my family members by name. So they'll come around you doing all that. They'll leave tags also in the fitting room, sometimes that have names of maybe like certain people. Like it'll be the same tag by different people because you clean out the fitting room. And okay, and then somebody will leave another tag that's the same tag. It's just kind of ironic to me. I don't think it's coincidental. I think it's on purpose. And another thing they'll do in the fitting room, like they'll let you know that when you're on your menstruation or your menstrual cycle, which is really fucking disgusting, that somehow they know when you're on your period. And trust me, it ain't because they know when you walk in, because they already know from watching you at home and listening that you're on your fucking period. I don't know if they're listening to the plastic or whatever the fuck they're listening to. But what they'll do is they try to make this impression that like you're a fucking stinky person. And so I notice around the time that I'm on my menstrual cycle, which I have hygiene products that take care of anything, so I don't really have those problems. As I've gotten older, I've become way more intelligent. And so what they'll do is they'll bring people that stink really bad, men, women, anybody, and they'll come in the fitting room. I don't know if they just want people that stink, but I notice it's a lot of times around that time. We're trying to make it seem like, oh, she's over there, she stinks. Yeah, she. I think it's that time of the month, but I don't stink because I'll get next to you individually, and you ain't gonna smell that shit that's in the fitting room. Other customers complain about inside the fitting room when they go in there. It's like stinky. Guys will come in smelling bad. Women will come in smelling bad. It was a mom and a daughter. They were even laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? It smelled like they didn't take a bath in like 3 days. And then also girls, it'll be like they're walking around like they just had sex and didn't douche or something. Like it'll smell really bad. They'll be walking around their kids and stuff, and they'll come like one of the girls came and she played with her kids. Like her kids were playing with the toys where I was. And I'm like, ma'am, can you make sure they pick up everything that they put on the floor? She's like, oh yeah, I'm watching them. Like, well, this isn't a recreational center and it's not a playground either. And so I'm just kind of wondering why she smells like that and is making sure she lets her kids play in the area where there's toys that you're supposed to purchase for like 30 minutes straight. She was there for 30 minutes straight. She didn't have any, she didn't have anything in her hand. They had a couple things in the bag, her husband, but they were like letting their kids play around me. And the lady was like really stinky. Like it smelled like vagina and something else. And so I was just like, why is it like this whole last time I came it was stinky. This time I came it was really stinky. But I think when the other lady was there it was stinky too. But I noticed it's more stinky around that time. Like and it ain't me. Like these people doing that, like I got so sick that I was gonna vomit. I felt nauseous. I felt really sick. And I'm like, I can't work back there if they're going to be smelling like that. Just like when you go to the swimming pool, you got to take a shower before you enter the pool. Like etiquette, as far as the fitting room is, your funky ass need to take a shower before you go into the fitting room. You don't go off from work knowing that you stink and go try on a bathing suit, or knowing that you stink and try on all these clothes and stink up the whole fitting room. It's not like a stink that's contained in the room. This is like a stink that's filling up the whole fitting room, men and women. I'm like, why are they doing that to me? When I worked at a higher class place where I got paid twice as much, those people weren't stinky. They tried on a lot of clothes, but they weren't stinky. And so I'm like, this ain't cool. So that's the things that they've been doing on the sales floor. Also, oh, some of the workers, I'll tell you what they do with the little basket where you put things that are items that are left back there. They've been like putting nasty things in there, like sexualizing things. I don't care. I'm saying what I think. And if anybody from work sees this, I don't care because I'm tired of holding back the truth because it's embarrassing or it might make me look a certain type of way. They're putting like nasty stuff in there that seems like it's a kind of witch pot gathered together. So I looked at the dog area. They have like these little mats that dogs play in. So one of the mats had a lot of white shit in it. You know, it looked kind of nasty. So I threw it in the little basket, and then there was a long thing that looked like almost like a fucking dildo. I came back the next day, and this shit was still in there. And now the little dildo thing looked like it had white stuff on it. It wasn't a dildo, but it looked like it. It was like a long thing and like a bubble thing, and then it had like the white stuff, and then it had like various names of things that were related to maybe someone, let's say someone that I like, or someone that I know, it's like they put things that are related. Like to me, it's I call it like a witch pot. Like they put little things to um what's that called? Like when it's like a visual simulation of something, and so they give you like these things to look at and you're thinking of certain things. Well, they put a package together so that you can see all these things together, and they're kind of giving you a subliminal message. And some of these messages are very sexualized messages. And so I'm like, well, you know what, there's more than one way to harass a person, and this is harassment. You're covertly really doing some type of sexual harassment by putting this little basket together with certain things, and they'll put like a little nutty it'll be like it'll say like nutty egg or nutty bar, and then they'll have the little thing that looks like a dildo in it, and then they'll have the thing. They know I fixed those pads with the little white stuff on it, so I'm gonna throw that in there, so it just looks like a big nasty messy sexual witch basket. It looks gross. And then people that you fuck with or that you like or that you're in a relationship with or that you used to be in a relationship with, they'll put names or certain items that they know that person that's kind of associated to that person with you. Yeah, they create a whole witch basket. And then what they do is they'll have certain workers that are the ones who don't really do shit, and they kind of go around always on their cell phone recording your reaction, recording what you might be saying out loud. So then they can be like, oh, well, yeah, look, this is how she was acting. And I say, go ahead, I don't care. Because I'm going to explain why I'm reacting this way. They can call me crazy if they want, but just because I can see in the spiritual and in the witchcraft world what y'all people be doing doesn't mean that I don't have a right to speak about it, because it's disgusting and nasty and embarrassing that you would do that, and embarrassing that I have to talk about that that's what you're doing. I'm still going to say it because that's what it is. It's going to continue to happen. And I think the reason why they feel so comfortable doing it is because they think that you are going to be too embarrassed to talk about. Oh, it looks like they just put a sex basket together full of weird stuff to put in my mind, in my head. And they're really trying to paint this picture out like, oh, you're mentally unstable. They really want you to be mentally unstable. But as soon as you go get a check that has to do anything with money, they'll be trying to arrest you. So it's just, I want you mentally unstable and broke. And I also want you not to be able to be in a relationship. We want to go around saying that you're stinky and nasty and you're all these horrible things when we know that you're fucking otherwise. You're not that. So that's one of the things that they were doing. And I moved to the back because in the front they was harassing me. So what they do with the cash register is they get a line of people to point out things maybe that you talked about on the phone, point out things that you were watching on the video, things that you were doing in your personal time, and they'll like things that you got when you were shopping the night before or that week, and they'll start bringing stuff up that looks just like that, or they'll start talking about certain things. Like, say you went and visit your mom, then all of a sudden, customer will show up like, "Oh yeah, I talked to my mom today." But say you haven't talked to your mom in like 5 months. And you've been listening to all these customers in these long lines every day. No customer's been talking about their moms. But as soon as you go visit your mom, they'll be like, oh, yeah, me and my mom, and oh, my mom this and my mom that. Now it's all these damn mom fucking stories. So it's like, as soon as you mention something or somebody, they'll bring it up. Okay. Then they have like the relationship witchcraft that they do. What they'll do is they'll go find men that look similar to like one of your exes that they want you to be in a relationship with. And they'll bring all those men that are about their height, because let's say this person is really tall. And so it kind of takes a lot to find a bunch of really tall men. And so they'll get really tall men that are the same color and everything. And then they'll bring these women next to you and they'll be like flirting and like doing all this stuff in front of you, like trying to make you like it's gonna make you want to go see them and be in a relationship with them and go do something with them, like like just do certain things. And outside of the store stuff, like I go to like random places to like just sit in a parking lot to like free my mind sometimes. And I'll go to a place where it's like nobody, but it's in the open. Like, say there's a lot of cars back here parked right here, but I'll go right here where there's nobody in the parking lot, but it's still where I'm visible and I can't really be harmed. All of a sudden, a person will come either right next to my car or they'll park right there. This is what happened to me the other day. And a Hispanic couple got out and he ran out of his car. She ran out of her car and they started fucking making out and stuff in front of me. And I'm like, okay. Like, I get a lot of dogs and a lot of people that try to make out in front of me. And I'm just like, okay. And I just like got I just like cranked the car up and I like sped off as fast as possible because I really am not trying to be used as like your personal like sex tool. I don't know. I don't know why people want to like make out in front of me and stuff like that, but I get people like trying to do that and it's really awkward and weird. So it's been really hard for me because I have taken a really low pay from the last pay that I was getting when I worked at a job, and I started having visions about the people that I worked with like within 2 months, which I can work with people for like almost a year and never have a vision or a dream about them. And I started having dreams about people that work quite quickly at this job. So I don't know. And it's like I still work very hard. I do a good job, but it's a lot of people that are like managers that really don't do anything and they're young and they don't even have like the knowledge or skills, and they make people that work hard feel like they have to work harder and do more work in order to make up for the stuff that's not being done. And it's just like I'm getting tired and I don't want to do it anymore. I just want to do my part. I don't want to reach out to help. I don't want to reach out to help the store anymore. Like, oh, let me help you clean up the stuff in the front because I see that y'all are so backed up. There's actually other people I feel that can help. There's no good planning. I see some people on their cell phones all the time. I don't know. Some things get better, but some things are the same. I'm kind of impatient when it comes to progress. I like to hurry up and see progress. I don't think it's that, it's like, hey, there's a plan. This is what you need to do today. Let's see that it's done. I like to know what everybody's plan is so I can see that everybody's doing their fair part of the work and not just one or two people really, fucking at, like hauling ass and shit. And so I could barely work in the fitting room yesterday. Like I said, I was very nauseous. I was very sick from the smells. And then, like, if you tell people you don't like a certain smell, like I don't like the smell of baby powder and mixed with funk, especially. And like, it's like people smell nasty and then they pour baby powder on them or spray a perfume that smells like powder, baby powder on them. I made it very clear that I hate that smell, and everywhere I go, I've been smelling that smell in there. It's like as soon as they funk up the fitting room, then they spray like a baby powder. And I know it's nobody's fault, maybe, but it clearly smells like baby powder. It's just the nastiest thing ever. It makes me want to vomit and throw up. And I don't know. It's like the work's not that hard, but I feel like what I'm doing now is just like being at jobs and enduring the witchcraft that they're doing on me. I feel like now it's not even about my skills. I mean, I could be used however a person wants to use me because, if people are trying to like blacklist me or blackball me, then I go to these low end jobs when I should be working, for more money based on my degree and stuff like that. Like you can look up my degree, you can go to the college, you can verify all that shit because I'm legit and I did what it says I did. And I get paid a low price, and every time I'm like, oh, I want to, I'm trying to be a manager and stuff like that, they'll tell me like, we've had new managers now, and now they'll be like, oh, well, we just hired a manager, we just hired another manager. Every time I ask, like a new person comes in, oh, we just hired a new one, so that means, oh, it's going to be a long wait for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it cannot be based off of it can't be based off of having a degree. It can't be based off of having a degree. And then the first retail job I worked at, the guy said the manager left because he was doing things that he wasn't supposed to do, and that's why. Because he said, because I have a degree, he's gonna pay me $1 more, and this was like fucking minimum wage. It was 7.25, and the manager was like, "Oh, I'll pay you $1 more because you have a degree." I was like, "Oh, okay." And the dude was like, when I came in for the interview, that dude left. He quit, the store manager, and then this other manager, he was like, "Oh well, I've been working here for 5 years, and I ain't gonna let nobody take my place." While I was going in for the interview, and I was just like, okay, I keep having to like be this really passive um, person because I just need the damn job. And so I listen to what they're saying, and I don't even think to call the upper people at the time. I'm just like, I just want to get this job, and fuck it. You know what I'm saying? This person has a problem, and then from that point forth, they start talking to other people about who you are. Oh yeah, that's that girl. She wants to become a manager. She's like this and she's like that. And then everybody knows you, and then everybody starts conspiring to make sure you don't become what you want to become, even though you are the best fucking one in that bitch. And I'm just gonna say how it is. Or you really inspire other people to even become better, but they'll also team up against you to make sure like you can't, like they'll pick on you, they'll find the smallest thing, anything, and then they'll start praising people that actually do not do a good job. Like they'll have a pile of clothes hidden under a rack, and then you'll have everything looking better than it's ever looked, and you'll have one clothes that was left over the rack because the customer was looking at that rack, and they'll call you in the next day as soon as you come into work and say, oh, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, what do you need to talk to me about? And they're writing you up for that. And so then you're supposed to act really good and calm. If you know the protocol, which is just to call the upper people, you'll probably be really good and probably even get risen up a position. But I didn't really know that. I really thought, I can work it out between the people that I'm working with, and we're all adults and we can get this solved. But that didn't happen. The girl just kept picking on me, who was a manager, trying to be a manager. And I told her that, look, you're just jealous. You've been hating on me. You've been doing all this stuff to me. I've been doing my best. You called me in the office over nothing. Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? And she called the police on me. And then they told me that I was trespassing. If that person wanted me to leave, then I needed to leave. So I said, okay, I'm not going to have two officers arrest me, and I left. But that's all I said. I didn't cuss the girl out. I didn't use one cuss word. And I had already tried to talk to her. They were frustrating me, giving me write-ups again. This is repeatedly because they're jealous of my work ability. They're jealous of my work ethic. They're threatened by my work ethic. There's nothing else to it. I don't do anything. I'm working. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just call corporate and talk to them and let them know what happens. I call corporate, and it's like, the mailbox is too full. Please try again later. And I'm like, okay. And then you call like a couple days. The mailbox is still too full. And you call like at 10 a.m., you call at 3 p.m., you call at various times, and you realize that this is a fucking no man's land. I can't call corporate. I can't call anybody. I would literally have to go to another store and maybe talk to somebody there. and ask how. But you don't know all that stuff at first when you're just getting into the work marketing. You're trying to figure things out. You're trying to work with people. You're hoping that the best works out. And no, you end up wasting a lot of time because there's a variation of things that happen, and you're trying to, diffuse things, but actually you kind of need to escalate things and talk to somebody at a higher level. And that's just what happens. So, of course, I went on my ranting. This was about the things that the workers do, and not workers, customers do on the job, while you're working, so they can mess up your stability and make sure you don't have a job. And I'm just like, I'm kind of like really tired and losing hope in the work environment and the workplace. And also, like, I just been having these horrible nightmares this whole February and this March. Every night, I've literally had a dream that someone's tried to kill me. Every night. Every night, I've woke up and had a nightmare about someone that was trying to shoot me, suffocate me, kill me. Last night, I just had a dream that I was somewhere. Some people were talking about they were Democrats. They had a bunch of T-shirts they were selling, and I was helping them lay the shirts out. And all of a sudden, I ended up being laying flat on the ground, and they were piling all the shirts on top of me. Like, they were large shirts, and they were pressed out really nicely, and they were piling them on top of me till it was like a big pile where I could barely fucking breathe. And I was like, please, like, help me, like, get these off of me. And there was a crowd around, and the crowd got mad at the people who was piling the clothes on top of me. And they was like, like, get those clothes off of her. That's what they were saying, like acting like they were going to help take the clothes off of me that was piling up where I was dying and was suffocating me. And instead of doing that, they made facial expressions like they were mad at the people that were piling the shirts up on top of me. But then they were all leaning in and they were just looking at me, and not one of them helped to get the shirts off of me. And I was just like, there was nothing I could do. And so I just fucking woke up out of it. Like, I woke up, and every time I have these dreams, not dreams, these nightmares, I'm like fucking extremely exhausted when I wake up. Like, being in this dysfunctional neighborhood and working at dysfunctional places has just, it's caused a dysfunction in me at this point. Like, I think that I'm consuming everybody's dysfunctions, and it's fucking with me. And that's why I want to get the fuck away from these people and all this shit, whatever it is that's fucking with me. The night before that, I had a vision that somebody was shooting me. Somebody was shooting me. Like, it was like a crowd of people. We was going somewhere. I don't know. It looked like some low key hood military weird shit. I don't know, but it wasn't military. It was like a bunch of people trying to rob something, and somebody had came up to me with a gun, and I had turned the gun around and shot them. But then there was a whole bunch of other people coming this way. I'm like right here, but there's a whole bunch of other people coming this way with guns, like shooting across. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? And so I woke up out that one. So yeah, I've been having a lot of nightmares all February, all February. I had nothing but nightmares of people trying to fucking do death spells on me. These motherfuckers been doing death spells on me, relationship spells on me, confusion spells on me, all type of fucking spells on me. These motherfuckers have been doing the death spells heavy on a nigga. I have not had so many visions about fucking dying, and it's not like me having a vision that I'm gonna die. Don't get me wrong, okay? These are visions about people desiring to kill me, and it's not gonna happen, okay? But this is what God is telling me, or this is what I'm feeling like people. God is telling me that people are trying to fucking kill me. They're trying to kill me. People somewhere someone's trying to manifest in their head, oh, I hope she fucking dies. I hope they fucking kill her. I hope they pile of fucking clothes upon her and fucking suffocate the bitch. That's what's happening. Someone's manifesting that. Someone's hoping that shit for me. That's all that it is. I know I'm not fucking having a vision that I'm. It's a difference between having a vision that you're gonna die and having visions of people trying to do witchcraft on you, hoping that something bad will happen to you. That's a fucking difference. So yeah, and I'm just getting, and what it does is it tells you that there's people around you that are trying to do bad things to you. So I notice, like right now in the audience, a lot of people like to hear about the tactics that people do to people with this gang stalking shit, which makes me wonder if people are actually interested in gang stalking people. And if like all this immigration is about people coming over here fucking gang stalking Americans and taking their fucking money and trying to terrorize their businesses and steal their shit for cars and fucking clothes. And then when you talk about how you feel like people are after you, then everybody goes and runs somewhere else. All the roaches crawl back into the fucking closet like, oh, I didn't hear you say that. Oh, did you say that? But tell me more about the tactics that people are doing to hurt people because I'm really interested in that. That's what's really interesting. I want to know how to go into a store and fucking gang stalking and fucking taunt a person to fucking smithereens. And it's like, I don't do it back to people because I will get fired. I will get fired because if I come for you, I'm really gonna come for you. I'm not gonna play with your bitch ass. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about you, and I'm gonna run you into the fucking concrete with it because I think you're a piece of fucking shit, and I hate your fucking guts. And I'm glad now that I can say that I hate people's guts instead of trying to be a nice person and act like, oh, well, I don't really have a problem with them, but they have a problem with me. No, if you have a problem with me, I hate your guts, you stinky fucking bitch, because there's no reason you should have a problem with me. I don't mess with people. I don't treat people bad. I don't do anything bad to people. So if you have a problem with me, you need to explain why you have a problem with me, because if you have a problem with me, then I think something's fucking funny and salty about your salty ass. Explain yourself why. And they think they're better than other people. Explain that shit. Do like you do in English class, bitch, and give me 3 good fucking examples where I did that and it fucking bothered you, because then I can find out more about what type of bitch you are. And everybody else can see clearly on the board why you feel the way you are, where you're coming from, what your standpoint is, supported by your 3 fucking bullshit examples. Don't just fucking say, oh, I don't like her because she's arrogant. Oh, I don't like her because she thinks she's better than me. Fuck some of you motherfuckers. Some of you motherfuckers I am better than at certain things because I have certain skills. And some of you people are better than me at certain things because you have fucking certain skills. And if that pisses you off, then you're just a fucking dumb bitch. Period. These people who can't admit that this person has a good skill, they're really good at this, uh, they're bitches. And another person saying, oh, well, you're really good at that. I'm not that good at that, but you're good at that. And I'm good at that. That's fucking life, you fucking bitch. And if you can't handle that, you're a fucking prick. I can't tell you what gifts God is going to give me and what gifts God is going to give you. But if I have them, if you give me the right things that I need for them, I will be glad to share them with you. But you're not gonna fucking sit here and rob me to death and fucking tell me that I don't have it and that I'm full of shit and that I'm fucking nobody when I'm out here busting my ass off trying to make shit look better for a motherfucker. Do you see my fucking hair done every time I get on this bitch? The fuck no. You know why? Because I'm too tired after I'm busting my fucking ass off working and doing other shit. That's why you don't fucking see my hair done, my nails always done, me up on here looking all good, makeup, whatever the fuck these bitches be wearing, because I be fucking working and I be like, I gotta get up and go. I don't got time to be doing my hair all the time and doing this shit. When I do, then you'll know. But I be tired when I do that too, because everything I do, I work hard and I do it the best that I can 9 times out of 10. And so I'm fucking tired. I don't have I feel really good today. 3 days out the week, 5 days out the week. I'm gonna go get my fucking hair did. I just have so much liveliness in me now that I busted my ass off. Well, let me go to the fucking this and that and that. I don't have all that yet. So when people be trying to say, "Oh, she look busted and disgusted," well, that's because I be busting my ass off at work. And the reason why you don't look busted and disgusted and you are thick and bubblicious is because you be sitting your ass off at work. And I don't think it's like a good thing. Like people are saying, like, oh, well, the smart, intelligent people learn how to communicate and they're not doing the laborious part. Okay, well, let me tell you something. You need to learn how to combine shit. You need somebody who does some of the labor and who knows how to be a leader and do the communication too. Because when you get a bunch of people who know how to master over people by just telling them what the fuck to do, you get a whole bunch of people who are telling people what the fuck to do and they're not doing any fucking thing. And when those people who are busting their ass off get tired, you won't have nobody and your shit gonna be looking like a hot fucking mess. Okay? So that's the fucking thing. People value people. They act like people who just communicate and say, "Oh, you do this, you do that." And let me tell you, so some of them don't even do that shit well. They don't even know how to plan it well because it would all get done and it would all be good if you were the type of person who could sit on your ass and tell people what to do and it all get done good. Great, but because you want to tell certain people to carry 1,000 pounds of the load and then tell other people that you like or that are your culture and your race to carry only 3 pounds of the load. That's why it's fucking up because you friends with that person and you're not telling them to carry their part. This bitch you don't really give a fuck about. You're threatened by the bitch, so you're telling that bitch to carry the heaviest fucking load. That bitch is one of the best workers. So you're dumb because you don't know how to distribute the work properly to where everybody doesn't get fucking tired the fuck out and that it looks fucking fair. And then it's like, look, bitch, I'm sorry, no offense, but you have not earned that much to just be doing what you're doing. Right now, you're the privileged bitch because you don't have the experience, you don't have the degree, you don't have the skills. And because you stumbled upon luck in a moment of fucking time, you became what you are. Someone asked you to be a manager. And now you're inexperienced, don't do the labor part, barely do this, barely do that, talk shit to get rid of people because you're threatened of how good their skills are. Nothing barely gets done. You don't know how to do it. You're looking at me how to do shit, but you're over me. You can go tell them stories about me and they can try to believe you more because you're a manager. But you don't know as much as me. You don't have as much fish as me. You're not as old as me. You don't know anything. Nothing. But how to tell people what to do. And then you don't even communicate nicely with people. Your communication skills aren't actually that good. You're actually a very selfish person. You actually have a fucked up attitude and don't get along well with everybody. Why is it that people that are work really good you don't get along with? Why aren't you cool with the best worker? Why? Because you probably talk to them like shit. That's probably why. And you probably try to over dominate them because you're threatened by them. That's probably why that type of thing would be happening. And it only takes a seer who has experience to know these things. I don't need to be a fucking manager trying to figure out why is all these people hating on this one person. Yeah, they're outspoken, they're vocal, but so is a lot of other people in here that work here. So why can all these other people be outspoken and vocal and doing this and that, but this person can't and they work hard and work good? Well, it doesn't take a rocket science with a fucking degree to understand, well, maybe it does, that it's probably a little competition and they're probably a little threatened. They probably know that you should be a manager too and that you're on another level, and they have to accept that you have more knowledge and understanding and skills, but yet you're underneath them. That alone can cause hate and jealousy and envy. I don't need to explain that to anybody. That's common sense. People also get demoted because of things like that. But nowadays, demotion isn't really a thing. People aren't really getting demoted because they have a lack of skills and somebody else has more skills and stuff like that, and which is kind of corrupting the system, if you ask me. Because what needs to happen is these people actually do need to get demoted, and the people who have the skills need to get promoted, and they need to watch those people who have those skills. And then once they've gained those skills, they can get back promoted or back to it, but they're doing it the opposite. They watch all your skills, watch all your shit. Why it's first come, first fucking serve. No, it's when you have a business, you look within your business to see who already has those skills that's able to do it, and you make them an offer. You don't go find everybody else's resume outside of the business and, wait on somebody else. You should already know everybody in your group's business as far as their resume. So I'm pulling from the bucket that I already have, and it's supposed to be more cost efficient. So I don't understand. Like most of the places that I work at, I don't actually even plan on being there for a long time, but I know that the skills that I have can teach people quickly if I was the teacher, and it can have a life impact on them. And I've already seen this so many times. So to me, whether I'm there for a long time or not doesn't fucking matter. Just like when you have certain people who come from like district and other places, they'll be there like for a week or two, and they'll show certain people how to do stuff and they'll gain that knowledge. So I feel like it's the same concept. You don't need to have to be with the company for 10 years to have a management position. You don't need to desire that. If you have the skills, then maybe you'll be there for 3 months. Maybe you'll be there for 6 months. Maybe you'll be there for a year. It doesn't require you to need it, want to be somewhere for 10 years for them to use all your great skills and management abilities or whatever you have. That to me is nonsense, and it's just a way to play people. All those people aren't going to be there that long. And if they're going to be there that long, like I said, just robbing other people for their skills and knowledge, I don't really think that's fair. So, but they probably think, well, if you get that position, then you'll probably be there longer, and we don't want that. I just want the damn position so I can take it somewhere else where I will be for longer, because I know when people don't like me. I know when people don't like me. And this is the other thing about the jobs. It's like they always ask you, "Oh, do you have management skills?" How the fuck do you become a manager? Everybody, you don't have management skills. So these people got to be lying. No, if you're trying to become a manager, you have management skills, but you've never had a management title. I have, but it was like way back. And yeah, I use that now because I didn't realize, as I was growing up, how to use that at first. So I really got robbed because of that. But you're not a manager. If you're confident enough to want to be a manager and you can show what it takes, then show me and we will see. This is what I need from you. It's not, oh, you're not a manager everywhere. Just because a person's a manager, I see people who are managers right now who suck. I want to try you out. It's a tryout. Let me see what you can do. The last manager told me, oh, if I organize the toys area, then she'll consider putting me on the sales floor and working on the sales floor. Look, I've worked at a higher level store making 2 times much as this, visually merchandising, apparel. I know how to do this. It's not a test for me. I can show you, like, my resume says it. If like you didn't do your history and find out if what was true was on my resume. The resume speaks for itself when it speaks the truth. And people are making me have to prove stuff that's on my resume when they can actually just call these places and ask, oh, does she have a college degree? You don't need to sit here and believe somebody who says, oh, I don't believe she has a college degree. I don't think she went to school for that. I think she's lying, because why would she be here if she's not? Call the fucking school. They'll tell you I have a fucking college degree. They'll tell you what my fucking GPA is. That speaks well for itself. I don't need to make up anything. And then it's like, the reason why that's important is because I prove myself every day, a lot over time, and people will still act like you're not doing nothing. Or they'll act like, oh, it's nothing. I have never gotten a compliment in my life from a lower level manager. I've never gotten a compliment from a lower level manager in my fucking life, out of all the good shit that I've ever done. Never. And I have gotten compliments from higher level managers, but never a lower level manager. I've gotten one from a lower level manager. Oh, that looks nice. And then the next day, oh, you can't do it like that. When we already talked about it. I made sure I talked to you about it. I went to the store manager and asked what's up with that. It all worked out, but it's like, I don't get compliments from lower level managers, and I don't get compliments from managers who feel threatened about me. But I have gotten compliments from higher level managers, store managers, and things. So what does that tell you? Okay, that's the problem. That's the problem. And I'm not gonna lie on my resume like, oh yeah, I'm a manager. I was a manager. No, I was a manager like 10 years ago. The truth is, I didn't know how to really put a resume together. Now, how does that sound? Well, it's the truth. Nobody's perfect. I didn't know how to um, level that and put that in my resumes from that point on. I didn't know how to basically pass the baton with that onto my resume going into the transitioning job. I didn't really know how to do that. I had a job. I was a manager because I was so young. Okay, waited some time, didn't even think about it. Got another job. I didn't even put nothing about no manager. Now all these years pass, and I'm still like, you know what I'm saying? It's stupid. It's just stupid. But I have legit reasons. You know what I'm saying? But my legit reasons are pretty sensitive. And, it takes someone who's a real person and a righteous person and a good person to be like, oh, yeah, I understand that. That makes sense. Well, and not someone who's like gonna just be like, they judge you because they want to judge you. They judge you because they want to find something wrong. A person who's really right and can really see and is really a seer is gonna see the truth, and they're gonna know. They're gonna know how to make a good decision. And as a person who's applying for a job, people who can see the truth too. People up front that are right too. When, oh, this person's a smart person. This person can see. This person's a good person. This person is legit with business. You can see that too. And you can also see when, I think they're going to bullshit me, but whatever. And I think they're going to feel this type of way about me or whatever. You can feel and see that. I can see it right up front. I can see when people are going to treat me a certain way, be a certain type of way just by their attitude, how they act with me, how they look at me, how they feel around me. I can see that up front. So, but a lot of times people just got to stay in stuff and do certain things because they need the money. And when you're trying to figure things out in between that you've never been through before, that's where things get tough and you learn those hard lessons. And some things are much harder to bounce back from than others. You know what I'm saying? But now you have this world of knowledge about how to do this, how to do that, and you're still sitting here like, okay, but I still don't see that position or that chance. And it's like, it's almost like everybody knows you. And now it's like a lot of people that know you are in out to get you. Like, oh, I'm not going to give you a chance because um, yeah, it feels like people are calling my job. It's like that job is talking to that job and kind of getting into the same thing that job was doing to me. That's kind of how it feels. But I don't know. It feels that way to me. So I'm like, I'm kind of trying to get away from all that where people are like knowing me and someone's trying to find me and tell people about me, make up lies about my work skills and stuff. People pretending that they have to find out who I am. It takes 10 years to find out who the fuck a person is. It takes at least three. And you're going to sit here and try to find out who I am, but yet they give these other people chances in like a month, a couple weeks. Like, why do you need to find out who I am? Like, I'm like, is there anybody that's intelligent enough to see the truth? Is there anybody that's intelligent enough to read people and situations and circumstances and have, the optimal understanding where it's not like it takes them a year or 3 years to understand something? I need a fucking person that can understand something on the spot. I need a real seer that can see stuff and be like, yeah, I got that sense, I know. But some people, they do have that and they're using it in the opposite way instead of the positive way. Like, oh, I see this about this person. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck that shit up. So, um, so basically, if I ever did become a manager for like a good company or whatever like that, which I've been so close so many times, well, not so many times, well, I've been close. And I would be able to see through that. Like, if there was a person that showed up similar to me, I would be able to see, and I would be able to see like through people, what people are doing, what's true, what's not. I believe in giving the people a chance. Maybe it's something I would see over time. There's always stuff you can see over time. You can always change things. You can always demote and promote, and based on what it is, as long as you have facts and evidence. And it's not like I don't really want to make my decisions based on everything a manager that feels threatened by you is telling me. That's common sense too. If I can go by and see your work, I don't need that manager to tell me so much. How much time are you spending next to that person? Every time you talk to that person, now I have to see what happened in that situation. And I can see from one or two situations who is more legit. I don't need to pretend that because this person knows how to use a certain system on the computer. Oh, I got to keep that person because, but they can't do none of the other stuff. That's probably like a class or something you can find out or deal with and figure out over time. But I feel like people would purposely try to make up stuff, purposely try to make up reasons why they can't help you. You got to be begging at people's mercy and shit like that. And it's like having like a it's like having a slave that's really fucking good at something, but never telling that slave that they're that good because you don't want nobody else to have that slave, or that that's gonna make that slave more unstable, so you just let it fuck them up, but you never want to tell them that they are good at anything. Like, you could have like the best one out of all these people in this district or something like that, but they'll never make you feel that way. They'll always make you feel like you're just like you're nobody. you don't mean anything, you're nothing. Like, but they know that you know what I'm saying? And they see and they use things and they do this and they do that based off of it, but they will never ever align you with what you should be aligned with. You'll always be chasing that alignment. When it comes to people who really don't want to fuck with you, they really don't want to help you out like that, they'll always use you to level up, but they'll never have you align with where you're supposed to be in life. Never. They're not going to do it. They're going to waste your time. And at this point, I'm thinking that I might have to go through hundreds and thousands of people now just to find the right people, the right company. There's not that many companies in the industry that you're working in, right? There's just not. And people tend to talk, and with social media, people are connected to this person and that person. So when these people want to ruin you, they can. If they want to, like, oh yeah, I know that person, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, I know that person, blah 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 blah. So at this point, I'm just thinking, you know what? Maybe I should stop focusing so much on labor and just start, especially since I'm getting older, and just start focusing on fucking beauty. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure my fucking hair is done, make sure my nails are done. Just like be a fucking model around there instead of be a worker. You know what I'm saying? Like my value is gonna be in my presence. Like with my thick ass eyebrows. Like I said, I'm getting older, so I don't got time for that. Maybe I should just walk around and value the what the fuck is that? Value the physical things that I have. Like if I have long hair, I'll do my hair. If I have nice bushy eyebrows, I'll make bushy eyebrows seem like they're the sexiest fucking thing in the world. If I'm skinny with a nice waist, I'll make that seem like it's the best thing. If I got a little plump, I'm gonna act like that's the best thing in the world. I don't see what the point is anymore. I actually feel like this is what I need to do now because they can bring whatever bitch model, and this is what they'll do. This is another thing they'll do. So they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm on to you. You think that you're pretty. You think that you're somebody because you got your hair done or your outfits." Guess what they'll do? They'll try to bring another person that's like about your height, about your skin color, or maybe lighter, and someone who tries to do their self up all the time. Like it's just a big fucking competition. If you say now I'm gonna focus on my beauty, oh, she's walking around like she's this and that. Yeah, I got somebody for her. I'm gonna bring this girl. I know this girl, she be doing herself every day. Hell, I'll bring a gay dude or whatever like that who does himself up better every fucking day. And she'll be jealous of a nigga. And she'll be jealous of this girl. And she'll be jealous of that. And then I'll have somebody come and do everything just like she does. So I'll just be like, you know what? Whatever, do what you do, girl, because I'm gonna do me. I don't care. I'm gonna do that too. Whatever. Like, just be in my own fucking world. It's not working anymore. Hard work does not pay off. And guess what? These bitches been lying to me. These hoes been lying to me. I've been reading. I've been listening to what white folks been saying. I've been listening all my fucking life. Hard work pays off. All you have to do is work hard. And to a certain extent, I believe it does. If you do it the right way, you build it the right way, you get the right proof the right way. Yes, it works. But it can also mean absolutely fucking nothing if you don't do all that shit the right way. If you don't do it the right way, you can bust your ass off, work really hard, be the best, be at the top of the list, and it mean absolutely fucking nothing. You're just a fucking good ass tool that people fucking use until they can't fucking use it no more. And that's where balance comes in, where you just have to know when to say, fuck that shit. Right now, I'm on this. Right now, you can be on that. Right now, right now, right now, right now, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Okay? I'm tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it. I see bitches who ain't working hard. If they ain't working hard, it's a fucking skill. I can damn sure do that. I can damn sure do that. And then guess what? When I stop working hard, it's a whole motherfucking problem. Now everybody need to start making sure they follow the dress code. Now everybody need to make sure they're doing this. Now we're gonna start clock making sure nobody's late. We're gonna start clocking for violations. Because now when I start relaxing a lot, watch how motherfuckers start tightening up and shit. And if they don't, that's even better. I'll be on my fucking heels swinging my fucking good looking ass hair then, okay? I'm not gonna play with people no more. Like I said, I'm getting older, bitch. Older, the clock is fucking ticking. The eggs is fucking hatching. They fucking crowing. They croaking. They doing all type of shit, bitch. They crying. They begging. They like, bitch, get the fuck up out of here. So I'm not worried about these younger people anymore. I can teach you. You can't teach me everything. I can teach you more. In the situation that I'm seeing, in this situation, I can teach some more. I'm not saying young people can't teach me, but I have a lot to teach. I've done a lot. I'm getting older. I feel like I have priority. I had priority when I was younger. If I know more and I have more skills, that's what matters. I know what to do. I can do it. I can provide the service. That's what matters. Okay, whether you're younger or older, it doesn't matter. That person is the one who needs to be it. People usually say that it's a moving target. It's a fucking moving target. One minute they're like, oh, we want younger people because that's going to bring something nice and fresh to the scene. Okay. When you get older, they'll want younger people. When you're younger, they'll want older people. It's always a fucking moving target. It feels like it's always a moving target with me. It's like one minute they're looking for something. As soon as you get that something, they're looking for something else. Just like with the work shit. Hard work pays off. Oh, hard work doesn't pay off anymore because we realize you're a hard worker. So guess what? Hard work doesn't pay off anymore. Now it's communicating because we know you like to just sit back and do your work and be productive and shit like that. So communicating and being in with the boss and doing all that stuff, all of that, and guess what? Then that won't be it either. Once you start doing that, that won't be it either. That won't be it either. A trap is a trap. Prolonging your fucking situation, making you believe this and that it's all a fucking illusion. One day it's this, one day, see, God is the same God. God is a steady God. People are not steady. People will be a moving target on purpose because they know where your target is. So at the right time, you won't never be the prime time because there is an agenda against some of these people. That's why you're always fucking missing it. But somehow you always making the fucking shot. You always making the shot, but somehow you always missing the opportunity. How does that add up? I don't fucking know. That's what that witchcraft math do. Witchcraft math is you make the shot, but you don't get the opportunity. It's always shit. It's always bullshit. It's always bullshit that don't make sense. I'll know that I'm in the right place. I can't even tell people when I know when I'm in the right place because you know why? Because then they'll make sure that they put shit out there to make it seem like I'm not in the right place. Then don't talk. Don't say anything. Don't tell people shit. Oh, well, keep it all inside. But you can't keep it all inside because that's toxic too. You motherfuckers, and you know who I am, is a motherfucking trap. You a trapper bitch. You trap motherfuckers. You trap them. Every direction they go is a trap. Like the old people say, you can't win for losing. If you win, they mad at your bitch ass. If you lose, so they'll be happy, they still mad at your bitch ass. They just got a problem with you. You try to hide your light. They still see that bitch. It don't fucking matter. Oh, we know you trying to hide your light. You hide your light and your shit start becoming dimming, and then they start to act like they light is brightening the fuck up. We can't both have light in the same fucking space. Your light can't be the same as my light. We can't all light this motherfucker up. That's how it is. Motherfuckers want to walk around with one little fucking candle in a big ass fucking room. As soon as all the lights start lighting up and all the candles come on, motherfuckers start walking out with their fucking candles. Because they wanted to be the only one with the motherfucking light. Ass motherfuckers. That's what it looked like to me. Like, my light's the only light that works. Like, okay, bitch, but we need more lights. Bitch then broke everybody's lighter and cut everybody's fucking wick off, okay? I'm fucking sick of it. Yeah, the work shit right now, and it was like I had one big opportunity. Oh, and by the way, I went to this interview for a job, and one of the ladies asked me a question, and she fucking laughed at my fucking answer. She literally fucking laughed at me, and I knew she wasn't gonna give me the job. I said, "Do you want me to give another answer or another example?" And she was like, "Oh no, no, that's okay." Well, why you gonna laugh at me knowing that that wasn't a good answer for you, but not give me an opportunity to give you a better answer? The fuck? Hello. Because you already made it up in your fucking mind. That's what it is. And it was a horrible interview because then when I walked in, I was like, oh, I'm here. I was there early, but I didn't show up until 5 minutes, because I didn't want to be that early. So I walked around, the place. And the lady was like, oh, the reception was like, oh, what's your name? I said, oh, I just said I'm here for an interview. I didn't say my name. I just said I'm here for an interview. Oh, what's your name? I didn't like it because I was like, damn, you don't know who's on the list for interviews? How many people are you interviewing at a time? I kind of wanted them to know my name. Oh, are you so and so? Oh, do you have an appointment for this time? And I was like, yeah. So I'm kind of looking at her like, please don't mess this up right now. And then there was the other lady standing there with a clipboard. She was actually the one doing the interview. So I thought that was kind of sneaky. But I was like, okay. So then she was like, oh, well, can you wait like 5 or 10 minutes outside? Why am I waiting 5 or 10 minutes? I'm on time. I thought we had an interview, but okay, I'll go wait out there. Sometimes you wait. So then when she came out, she was like, oh, let me see if the interview room is available. Like, what do you mean if it's available? So I was turned off, bitch. I was done. I was already done. First of all, you don't know who's showing up. You don't know my name. That's okay. Maybe I'm being too much. But then you don't even know if the interview room is available. You only got one interview room. You don't know what's going on in your stove right here. It's one office. Like, okay, don't worry about it. And so she had a list of questions, and I was just like, I was annoyed. The question she asked me was, "Is there any time that you saw the problem with the customer or somebody, blah blah blah?" And I was like, I don't really have that many problems with customers, and I'm not gonna be all dramatic. So I tried to make it something positive. I was like, "Oh well, we had these coupons, and we're not able to scan it on the phone, but customers were complaining that, well, all the other stores are able to use the coupons." And stuff like that. So I try to be persistent and I said, okay, well, let me read off the numbers off the phone. And so I read the numbers off and I typed in all the numbers and the coupon worked. And the customer was happy or whatever like that. It just said, and where I worked, you can't scan it. It didn't say you couldn't use the number. They said you can print out that same one and bring it to us. If you print it out and we scan it, what's the difference with the barcode? The barcode is the exact same. I'm going to be putting that same number in. We just can't scan your phone, okay? So I was thinking outside the box in my mind. So I did. I'm like, oh, it works. You can't use it again. Once you use it, that's it. It's a number that matches it, right? And so I'm like, oh, that's a good example. I'm gonna give that one. It's not negative or whatever like that. So she goes, and so I was like, I shared that with my coworkers and whatever. I really didn't share with her, but I was just like, and so she was like, oh, those are the fake ones. Those are the fraud ones. The ones off the phone are the fraud ones. I'm like, how do you know they're the fraud ones? We don't work for the same company. You're actually a competitor. What do you mean those are the fraud ones? And so she was trying to make it seem like, oh, like I would be giving people discounts when I wasn't supposed to. Like, no, maybe y'all's are the fraud ones, but ours aren't the fraud ones. If you pay attention, she didn't ask more questions. She was like, oh, those are the fake ones, the ones off the phone. No, it's not. If you can email it, I mean, if you can print it, and I'm using that same one, how is it a fake one? And what we said when you can't scan it is we literally can't scan it because I've done it before I knew the rule. You will scan it on the phone and it won't do anything. Or it might like mess up the. I don't know. I've never seen it mess up the system. I've just seen it not be scannable. They didn't say you can't use that number. They said they have to print it out. It's the same number then. And this lady was like, "Oh, those are the fake ones." She's just like, I'm like, "What? What's funny?" She's like, "Oh, those are the fake ones. Those are the fraud ones." So I'm like, "That was the first question." So now you're saying that I literally felt like crying because I was like, "Okay, she's already like making me look like some type of bad person." And I kind of wanted to elaborate and explain, oh, well, at our job, I didn't explain to her, they tell us to print it out. We just can't scan it like what I just explained to y'all. And I was like, oh, do you want me to give another example, a different example? And she's like, oh, no, 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 that's okay. And I was just like, okay, whatever. And then also her phone was ringing during the interview. She got up. It was like a woman. She seemed like she was Middle Eastern or something like that. I don't know. But it was for a department store. One of the competitors that I had worked for. They're a competitor of who I had worked for. So her phone was like ringing in between. She was like, "Oh, you worked for them?" I'm like, "Yeah." And her phone was ringing. I was like, "Oh, it's okay." She's like, "No, no, it's not okay. It's not okay." I'm like, "Okay, if it's not okay, then why did you have your phone on when you knew that it was going to be an interview?" I'm just trying to tell you it's okay to make you feel better. I'm comfortable with it. I know people have to do things sometimes. But she's like, no, no, it's not okay. Like she's just doing me so wrong. I'm such a victim. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then she had like the little walkie and people were talking on the walkie. And she was like, oh, I'm in an interview, like, blah, blah, blah. Just tell her to do that because she's shy right now. I think they were trying to say that I was shy, but they were talking about her. Maybe they were talking about that girl, but I wasn't really feeling shy. I was a little nervous, but I wasn't really feeling shy. And, I'm going to answer the questions. I'm actually happy to answer the questions and share a little bit about who I am and what I've done. So I don't know. I don't know if they were trying to project that onto me or try to get me to be more comfortable. But she was writing down all my answers and stuff like that. And then they're like, "Oh, what's your favorite store? Like, what type of question is that? Like, is that a trick question? Because I'm not gonna say another store besides this store. This store is the one giving me the opportunity. Like, this seems like some type of other type of interview. Like, do you want to know what's my favorite store? Like outside of this, I'm really just trying to get a job here, but I feel like I fit in. But like, oh yeah, I really like this store. Like, what are you gonna go follow them and see if I'm over there? Like, I don't get it. Like, I didn't like that question. I thought it was kind of weird. I just said their store was, and then if you put that answer, it's like I'm just saying that because it's the interview. I don't really have a favorite store like that. I mean, it takes time to get to know people in stores. I'm not like in a store every day, but I just didn't like that question. I felt like it was kind of weird and it put me in a strange situation. And so I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much. I just thought it was weird. And so she was like, "Oh yeah, well they'll either call you or email you. I don't know." And I'm like, "You don't know what form of like you don't know? Oh, I don't like that type of shit. It's like, oh, if they pick you, then they'll call you within like a week. You'll receive a phone call. If we can't get answer your call, we'll be sure to leave a message, and then you'll just follow up from there. Or within a week, we'll email you if we've chosen you, and then we'll follow up from there. It's like if you don't hear anything, then that probably means no after a week, or we'll send you a letter around those same times saying, probably an email. I don't think you should call somebody and say, hey, you didn't get the job, but like an email saying, oh, I'm sorry, but we're not gonna go through, whatever like that. I just think they should give a time period. If you don't do it, then forget it. If they don't give you nothing, that's pretty much the answer. But I applied for positions that I knew that I was good at that job. I applied for like a lot of positions. I'm just trying to get a job, and they was like no on every one of them, every fucking one of them. But I was in consideration for a position that was one of the higher ones, but one of the lower ones that I knew I could do, they like said no. So I was like, okay, whatever. I went there. It just seemed like people were gossiping. So, when I went there, I had to use the restroom, and it was like two Hispanic girls standing there, and but there's also a girl that was standing there that was dusting some stuff off. I was gonna ask the girl that was dusting stuff off because I'm like, she probably knows where the restroom is. I don't really want to interact with anybody right now while I'm trying to get in that mode. And so, but the two girls that were talking to each other that worked there, they seemed like they were ignoring me. So I wanted to ask the other girl. And so, but then when I started to try to ask her, they started like leaning over, like they wanted me to ask them. And so I just asked them, I was like, oh, do y'all know where the restroom is on this floor? And then they were like, right there next to the exit sign. And they were like kind of laughing. And I was like, okay. And so you know how I be thinking a little more than usual. So I'm like, what they trying to say? Like the exit sign, like, oh yeah, you should exit, you should leave out of here, or whatever like that. I'm like, okay. It was not a far walk. They could be like, oh, I can show you. Just go straight down this way. You don't typically tell somebody that something's next to the exit sign when they're coming in for an interview, or they look like they're dressed for an interview. I think that's kind of it's a little bit dark, if you ask me. Kind of giving like witch vibes, you know what I'm saying? So you can always be like, oh, you see that right there? Over there, you see where that dress is that looks like this or that? You can always, something a little more positive, like the exit sign. That's a little dry for me. So I was like, okay, whatever. Oh, and then another thing about that I didn't like about this place that I went to, which when you go into it, it looks all luxurious and shit. But then I went into the office, and when she told me to sit down and wait, I kind of gave the reception a little bit of a squint because I felt like she was playing with me. Like when she saw me, you know how it looks like when somebody's spirit goes down when they see you, like a certain person. I felt like that's what she did with me. It was like when I showed up, she was like, "Oh," and she was just like, um, "She'll be with you in a minute," and I was just like, okay. Like I kind of gave a little squint and I felt kind of like bad about it, but I was also kind of like, man, please don't play with me. I don't like that. Like, why you do all that? Like, I'm tired of these receptionists acting like they don't like me. Female receptionists acting like they don't like me when I come in. Like, what? I see you got another girl up in here. You know what I'm saying? She got braids. She got pink all up in her hair and stuff like that. Why are you looking at me like that? I don't get it. So like, oh, just take a seat, and this is where I had another problem because I'm a little bit of a picky person, and when I looked at the seats, they looked kind of dirty. There was kind of like the cloth seats. Like okay, the movie theaters. How the movie theaters be like them cloth like seats? They're made of like cotton or whatever. But Yeah, they were those, but they all had like stains on them, and they kind of had like white powdery looking stains on them. And I was like, oh shit, I'm kind of picky. I don't know where the fuck to sit. And so I'm like literally walking down because it was like a whole line of chairs. It was like 7 chairs. And then I was like looking at each chair, like, okay, I don't want to sit in that one. I don't want to sit in that one. That one's dirty too. And then on the other side, they had the chairs, a couple of chairs that were made of like pleather or leather like type material. So I was like, okay, I don't see nothing on that. I'm gonna sit there. And I felt like they was watching me. I felt like they kind of saw me doing that, and I felt like they wanted me to be the type of person that was just like, oh shit, you better sit fuck down, fuck it. I don't give a fuck what's on there. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Huh. Like I feel like they wanted me to be that type of person, but I was just like, no. Actually, I would love to clean out y'all's office and make it look better because this is I don't like this. It looks gross. It's very uninviting. And then like a white guy walked in. Most people were minorities. It was like black and Hispanic. And then all of a sudden this white guy walks in and he was like an older white guy. He looked like somebody had just literally snatched his spirit out of his heart. And he was just like he didn't speak or anything. He was just like bothering. He just like went back into his door and closed the door. I'm like damn, what did they do to you? Like that's how I was feeling. So it was. I seen a white girl there, but I like a mixture. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, but I didn't like the interview. Like I didn't like it. I didn't feel good about it. It felt funny. Like I never had a person laugh at me in an interview before, and so I was just like, I guess. I came home and I told my friend, he's like, oh, how'd the interview go? He was like telling me, oh, you're gonna get the job, don't worry, I'm sure you did good. And I was like, I guess. And I told him, yeah, she like laughed at me, but it wasn't anything that was laughable. And he was like, well, fuck him then, shit. I was like, about time you on my side. But anyway, so that's it. I'm just like, this is what these people be doing when they be gang stalking you and they be doing type of stuff. And all type of things. So personally, right now with the job thing, I I don't know. I'm not gonna speak on that. I'm not gonna say that like that. But yeah, so that's what's going on. The harassment at the job, the workplace. Some things have gotten better, but it's like the customers and other little stuff. When like certain people aren't there, it's the same repeated shit. When certain people aren't there, certain management isn't there, people are gonna act a certain type of fucking way and blah 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 blah. I'm so tired of it. And just the weird shit, the witchcraft at work, people coming in trying to do witchcraft on your ass. I feel like that's what I'm doing. I'm just surviving witchcraft. Like I feel like I'm only getting picked for this job lately. I feel like I only got picked so that people could perform witchcraft on me. Like, oh, bring her over here. Let's see if we can do some witchcraft on her and get her ass to, fall over or some shit. I don't know. I just feel that way. But there's more to it, but I just don't want to talk about that. And but I feel like that's what it is. I don't feel like I'm even in a place. I don't feel like I'm going to places right now where it's like an opportunity for me to use my skills and be valuable. And like, oh, we were so glad you're here. We want to know like what you think about this, or we want to see what you can do with this. It just feels more like, oh, you're here. Okay, can you do this? Can you do that? And we want you around so we can perform our witchcraft on you and see if we can get something fucked up to happen to you. Like I feel like I'm being used as a tool for witchcraft against me. Like I don't know, but I'm getting those type vibes. I feel like I'm just being used as a witchcraft tool. Like people trying to see if they can work their powers on me, and not like just one person, like a group of people, like people gathering and gathering, like, you know how like they have those machines where they got that big ass hammer and then you hit it and then you just see like how far up it can go. Like I feel like, yeah, people are just gathering together to see how much they can like do to me and see what happens. Like that's how I've been feeling for some reason. I don't even feel like it's about me anymore. It's not about my skills. It's not about my education. It's just about like what people can do with what they have against me. Like that's how I'm feeling. So that's it. And I think I'm a pretty observant person, and I don't think I'm like off in a type of way that's like where people be trying to say, "Oh, something's just so wrong with you." Actually, I was very good in psychology. I was so good in psychology in high school that my high school teacher said that I should take dual credit, like college courses in high school in psychology because I would always get like hundreds on my papers and I would get the bonus questions right and stuff like that. So like it'd be like a test where it's like worth 105 points. I get like 102 on it, but I would always get like at least I would always get like a very high A on all my psychology work. And she was like, "Oh, you know, you should really think about taking dual credit." And I'm like, "Wow, that's the first time anybody's ever told me that I was like really smart in something." And so I thought that was that's like a pretty cool thing. So for people to just act like I don't know anything as far as, you know, the mentality of people and how people act and how people are behaving and how to see clearly as far as what they might be trying to do or trying to project on you is, to me, it's Ti's favorite word. It's flabbergasting. You know, it's like, yeah, I just don't think you really know me. And I also think that there's a campaign to make me look like I'm fucking crazy for some reason, but it's a campaign to make me look like I'm crazy, but not to get a crazy check though. Like, we want you to look like you're crazy, but we don't want you to benefit off of the crazy. So just be crazy and broke. Be crazy without a job. Be this. It's always about looking crazy and not having financial resources. Right now, that's what I'm observing is isolate you. Make sure you look crazy because of what we're doing, and we're trying to really get you to go to jail, but you're not misbehaving enough to go to jail. So we're gonna try to fuck with your finances and maybe you'll become broke. I don't think it's about in that way you won't be able to fight if we steal some of your like creativity. So if like you're a very creative person, you do this, you do that, you'll get isolated and you'll start doing these creative things on your own because you have nothing else to do and nothing else to turn to. And because we've made you look like a crazy person and taken away your finances, we can take things from you and then just tell people that you're fucking crazy, and then there won't be anyone for you to turn to or any way for you to properly fight for your rights because we financially impoverished you. That's pretty much where I'm at right now with how I think about these people and what they're trying to do with me. And because we haven't, gotten to the point where we're just going to physically walk up to you and shoot you and do these horrible things to you because you kind of use your voice to talk and you have social media where you're kind of a presence. And, it would just be horrible for us to do something to an innocent person who, we just look like these evil witches stealing from people because we're actually creatively impoverished and want to steal from people who are creative. We'll try to attack you in another dimension. So we'll try to um, manifest through when you're sleeping. So that's why we have the surveillance cameras up so that we can know when you're gonna fucking fall asleep, about what time you'll wake up, because we're probably monitoring all that shit like some big time fucking lab unit or whatever the fuck. So we know when you're going to be working, we know when you're going to be sleeping, we know what time's a good time to do witchcraft. We're trying different variables and different things and different constants and different variables, and seeing like how we can really get this like witchcraft shit to try to take you out, or to exhaust the fuck out of you, to overwhelm the fuck out of you while we take other things from you too. And it's funny because I'm thinking about like changing my phone company and stuff like that because of all these people. Have you noticed? Like it seems like the whole world starts to change for certain things and certain people, even though that sounds real selfish, it feels that way a lot. Like, oh, Cricket became T-Mobile, right? Now T-Mobile is, they're working more and more and more to merge with all these other phone companies. So if you feel like a phone company is targeting you, which by the way is illegal for them to be doing all that type of weird shit. Um, but if you just feel like, oh, let's just say it's not that extensive. Let's just say, oh, I don't want to fuck with them. I want to fuck with another company. They're doing it in such a way where they're like trying to merge all these motherfuckers together instead of stand alone as a business. And that's kind of making me feel like, yeah, they're all involved in some shit too. Because why are all these motherfuckers wanting to merge into one thing? Think about that. Think about if there's only one fucking grocery store in the neighborhood, like they do in those black neighborhoods sometimes, and it's like that one store becomes fucked up. There's mold in there, and everything fucks up, and the other store is like I don't know, 100 miles away. Now you got to deal with that problem. So why don't they give you choices between different services and different quality instead of merging it all together? Because now you're running to one person instead of being able to say, oh, well, if you don't work out, I'm going to go to you. And if you don't work out, I'm going to go to you. And if you don't work out, then hopefully you'll work, right? Just like people do in fucking relationships. But no, we're all going to become the same person. So if you need someone else to run to, bitch, you're just trapped. Cricket is T-Mobile. T-Mobile is Verizon. Verizon is AT&T. Bitch, look at, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. Like, I'm not feeling it. Because I feel like every time I think I need to change, I notice it feel like they merging together. The fuck? And a lot of people who are game stalked, that's one thing they feel. Like there's something going on with the phones too. The phones company, and they're right. Some of the people that work there, they got stuff going on. They be doing stuff because I seen them do it firsthand in front of me, like I was some retarded bitch. See, the good thing about me is that I guess I look slow, I look retarded. Maybe sometimes I'm a little fucking weird, and so people be doing shit right in front of me. Maybe I look like a black dumb nigga that was raised in a black dumbass school where teachers didn't teach people, and you sit down and watch cartoons all fucking day. Apparently, sometimes I look like that type of nigga. So sorry, YouTube, but I'm just telling the truth. And so they be doing like little stupid stuff in front of me, like having the screen up. That's my screen for the phone company to be working with me, but go grab somebody else's phone who's sitting right there, who've been there before I walked in, having their phone facing the screen with my information on it. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, can you close out of my screen and my stuff? Oh, no, you're good. You're good. No, bitch, I'm not good. Why is it that people use your shit? When the fuck did you start saying you're good? No, bitch. You got that from a black bitch anyway. Now, you're good. No, I'm not fucking good. Like they're saying they can use that you're good for anything. Someone's robbing you. Oh, no, you're good. You'll be okay. You're good. Just let them fucking rob you. Oh, that's my money on the floor that just fell and you picked it up. Oh, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. I got it. I got it. See you later. See you later. Have a good day. You good? No, bitch. They're trying to use that you're good to play you. I'm not good. And that's not how you use your good, bitch. So stop using it wrong. I'm good when it's good, bitch, and it ain't good. You need to close my screen, and you don't need to have his phone up facing my screen, making me feel like you're giving him the information because that's what it looked like you're doing. And I'm not good until you correct that shit, little nigga. That's how I feel. But I have to act like, oh, what are you doing? Can you like? But then when I get ghetto and me, see, I always thought black. I'm gonna clear this up for some black women and some white women. I'm sorry, I got to like I gotta balance it because I be going hard on people, but I kind of see why some of them be having an attitude sometimes, and sometimes I kind of respect the attitude a little bit now. I'm sorry, but I do because people take soft so fucked up. Because I've been a soft person, I'm actually a soft person naturally, but I've had to become so hard because of all this shit these people be doing, and so the soft shit, man, they will fuck over you. They don't appreciate it. You can only fall in a soft place around soft motherfuckers, okay? Around other soft, good people. You can't do that shit around these lions and tigers and fucking bears that are trying to devour you. So I'm like, I have to have an attitude. Like, what are you doing? They respect that dog shit. What the fuck are you doing? Can you not? Oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am. Yeah. But as long as, what are you doing? Can you not do that? Oh, no, you're good. I'm still doing it. You're good. Don't worry about it. You're good. They don't respect it. I've tried it. I've tried everything. Nice, sweet, cordial, white girl, nice girl, light girl, whatever. It don't work. The only thing that works is attitude, bitch girl. That works better. Aggressive, okay, but you don't want to be too aggressive. So we're gonna call it assertive. Assertive, that's the better word. Assertive. I think it's fucking aggressive. But assertive, yeah. Can you not do that? Yeah, I'm gonna need to talk to your manager because what you're doing here is wrong. Why the fuck do I have to come in as a customer and then become your fucking manager and tell you how to do your fucking job? I want to rest, bitch. And it's like, why the fuck also is it all? Because I seen the other day on YouTube, it said one thing about black people, and then it had a sign. It said, "We'll do anything for money." Anything about minorities, we'll do anything for some white people too. Don't get it twisted. And that's why I say bad people, because that's how you put all the motherfuckers in the same category that do the same funky ass shit. Bad people. Now, some people are in certain, more people are probably in a certain type of situation economically. That's why you kind of see it from more people. But shit, don't get it twisted. Them other people doing it too. And that's why they get labeled as bad people. And that's one thing my white mama used to tell me. She used to tell me there's bad people and good people in every race. And I know that she spoke the truth when she said that. Period. So it's just like you have to have an attitude. I do this at work. This is what happened at work. Be nice. Oh, okay, I'll do that for you. Okay, let me listen to what you have to say. I know you're yelling at me and spitting in my fucking face, but okay, let's work this out. Let's work this out. Still come with that nasty attitude. Like I don't have tolerance for it repetitively. I'm showing you that I want to work with you. But now you're doing this repetitively. Now that to me is abuse. So now I'm going to step it up a level. Like, look, I don't like the way that you're talking to me. You're doing a bit too much. I'm sorry. You didn't call me to the office to talk to me. So now this is out in the front. You're professional. You lead. Oh, but I forgot. I have to lead. I have to lead. This is where shit gets fucked up. So then that doesn't work. And now I have to be a bitch and go tell the store manager or the assistant store manager what you're doing. And I have to be a bitch every day against you. I have to get the fuck rid of you. Damn there. But I don't be thinking like that because I'm not that type of person. I want us to work it out. But I have to get rid of you because you're a bitch. And you keep causing problems with me. And as long as I sit here trying to work it out with you, you're going back and telling them that I'm the one with the fucking problem. But I need to go tell them the truth. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay out the office because I don't want to cause any like stress on them. I'm gonna respect their space. But no, you can't. You can't respect their space. As soon as you start respecting their space for that bitch, that's when your ass gonna get fucked up. So now you need to interfere with this bitch space because they didn't hire the wrong bitch. Or they gonna get rid of me. Because I'm just telling you the truth. Now I gotta sit up there and be a fucking sounding like a gossiping ass bitch, but really I'm just an informant on how this bitch acting, and this bitch ain't a good fit. If this is y'all's mission and y'all practice friendliness, this bitch ain't a good fit. Hell, goddamn, this bitch is damn near corroding me. I'm a good bitch. This bitch is making me feel toxic. She can't get on my level. She can't work it out. I feel like I'm in a domestic violent in a domestic relationship at work, and I don't fuck with this bitch. Want to be next to me all damn day but cause problems when your office or your side or where you work at is over there. Why you want to stand next to me? Make it quick and snappy. Like here's your papers. Okay, if you need questions, let me know. All right, see you later. Bye. Bye. No. I'm sorry. And a little attitude here and a little attitude there, and oh, there's a problem. Oh, well, I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? Like, how are we supposed to do that? What? And just walk away, not talk to me, not tell me, not give me understanding, not plan. Ain't that what you do? Like, okay, well, I understand that this is the situation. You're right. We are understaffed. We don't have enough people, and this is what our plan is going to be. This is how we're going to prioritize in this situation because A, B, C, D, E, F, G need to get done. And sometimes we can't meet all those. But what we need to absolutely do is A, B, D, F, and G. Okay? And we need to do it in this order. And bitch, why do I have to be the one to tell you that? See? I be having to educate motherfuckers, but I'm always under them. It's like simple shit. And my thing is, if your heart was in it, if you really were passionate about it, you would have already figured that shit out, though. Or if it was really like what you were called to do, you would have figured that shit out. But don't be mad at me because I can do it and I see it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mad at me because as soon as I talk, because out of frustration and years of this, and say it, all these motherfuckers run just as fast as they just ran out the room now. Go write this shit down. Go figure it out. Go do that. Go do this. Go do that. They want all the fucking answers from you. They want all the fucking answers from you. And then after you educate them and make them feel better because now they have the knowledge on how shit should be ran, now they want to walk on their motherfucking high heels and then act like you ain't shit. Okay. Do what you do. Because see, the reason why I don't worry too much about it is because once I direct and tell people, oh, this is how you should do this, or manage people and say, oh, this is how you should do this, they try to do it how they think that it is. If they don't actually see you do it, they don't fucking know. They don't know how to do it. They have a little idea, and then you can observe more. But they'll never know how you do it if they never let you do it. And I'm learning to like hold back and not express and show everything that I do because these people do that. And also, they'll just never know. I see people right now. I tell them, this is what y'all supposed to do. This is, they get a little bit better over time. It takes a while. But see, if they had me, it would be instant. And it would be repetitive. And I can show them those examples over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. But they want to do it the way they want to do it. They want to interpret it the way. It's funny because I'm going to give you a good example. My friend, I worked in a certain industry, so I knew how to make this certain thing. And my friend swore he knew how to make it. He swore he knew the ingredients. He swore he knew the right way how to do it. I'm like, I worked in this place for so long. I know how to do it. This is what we did. That person wanted to do it 10 times and failed and failed and failed and failed. I would do it, say, show a little more. Like, oh yeah, I and then don't even want to give you credit. That's why I don't fuck with people. Show them a little more. They'll swear, oh, that's not how it's supposed to be. That's not, bitch. But then when you do your shit be perfect. Be fucking perfect. Of course it is. You've been working. You've been doing that. But this is how people will be. And that's how it be when you direct people and just tell people stuff too. They can try to do it, try to figure out this basic shit. Managing is planning. You know what I'm saying? That's prioritizing. You should. So when I go to work now, that's what I say because I'm too old to play with people. Like, what's the plan? What's the plan? Because I don't got all day. This shit is a fucking mess. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be that. Then nobody knows. We got a bunch of managers that don't know how to plan nothing. A bunch of managers that don't know how to do this. A bunch of managers that don't know how to do that. Sometimes the managers that do know how to do it, they ain't here. And some of y'all act like y'all scared. Come on with it. Y'all wasn't scared to put me the fuck out there when y'all was trying to act like y'all wanted to get rid of me. Y'all wasn't scared when y'all was up in there giving bad words about me, knowing you was exaggerating and really making shit up and not telling the whole fucking truth about your side of the story. So come on with it. Come on with the planning. Come on with the prioritizing. Get it together. You can't do that when you're focused on fucking up and fucking around with other people in the wrong way. I'll be glad to come up to you and ask you what's going on. I don't have no problem at all. I love doing it. I love going up to people, playing that manager role. That's what I do best. So it don't bother me as long as you stay off track. I can easily keep doing that. Even if you is on track, I'ma still be doing that. So it doesn't bother me. You the one who need to catch up. I'm trying to learn shit on another level that, you can't even really teach me. I gotta like go somewhere in the back office with somebody and learn. And I probably can't even do that because I can't be back there that long because I don't be doing all that unless I just sit there and say, look, I would have to learn some other type of way. So I know what I'm talking about. People can make up all this stuff they want about me. I'm not this, I'm not that. Baby, I'm all that in a bag of chips, and you're gonna lick your fingers when you're done. Okay? I'm just playing. But yeah, so I'm not going for what people talking about, that I'm not this and I'm not that. And also, I had a lot of proof on a lot of my phones about certain stuff that I did also. And I thought it was very interesting that, like, I have like 3 or 4 phones that were iPhones that, like, just crashed. And a lot of those had videos and pictures on it and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, that's funny because I'm trying to learn that as I get footage and do stuff to put it on there, quit saving a bunch of stuff and wait until the last minute. But I haven't gotten there yet. Like I said, I'm busy. I'm doing stuff. I'm doing other stuff. So I just save it, expect it'll be there, get to it when I can. But lately I've been saving stuff and they just be crashing my fucking phones. Okay? I can get a brand new phone. They damn near be trying to crash that. That's a whole nother fucking story though. I don't even got time. But that's all I wanted to talk about. Of course, I went on a extra rant after the actual title, but that's basically the style that I've been doing lately. So it's not even on purpose. It just happens. So thank you for listening, and I will see you guys later. Bye.